Alright, the Reds, talking Reds from Liverpool with me, Gareth Roberts, with him, Craig Hannan, and with you. Thanks for joining us. Today we are talking about the Reds being top of the league. The Reds, 6 points out of 6 in their group in Europe. And other teams that everyone was really fearful of, that everyone was telling us were going to set fire to the world with their new signings and all the rest of it. Well, they're not doing that well, are they? Chelsea beaten, Man City beaten, Man City coming to Anfield this weekend as well. So yeah, I mean, how do you feel about the season so far, Craig? 5-1 in Europe. I mean, that was a wild game, by the way. I mean, I've seen people talking it right up as, you know, a brilliant performance and stuff like that. I get that. But, you know, when their keeper looks like he's took a bung, that always helps, doesn't it?
It did. I think the thing I was most impressed about in the Porto game was just the intensity of the football team, the fact that they were able to find a way to get a second goal in the first half, because that's something that we've really struggled with over the past year. So I was trying to think, and I can't think further back than the Palace 7-0 being the last time that we'd gone in at half-time at least 2 goals up. So that's been something we've struggled with, and we obviously get it. The goalkeeper was awful, wasn't he? But
terrible.
But you know, the Reds love, absolutely. And I think it shouldn't take away from some of the individual performances. It shouldn't take away from the team performance as well. Curtis Jones, what a fucking footballer, by the way. 20 years old. He was incredible. Just his ability to sort of find his way out of dangerous tight spaces and then create an assist off the back of it was outstanding. And surely he gets a start at the weekend. Far rather him than Keita or even a Milner in there. Well, Milner's going to have to do right back.
Milner's going to have to do right back by the looks of it. Unless, as someone suggested in the comments there, it's all a big diddle around Trent and he's absolutely fine and he just sort of steps in.
I love all that, by the way. Like, I love little mind games and just little boosts on the day.
I'd love a bit of that if he just suddenly walked out on Sunday when, or, you know, was named in the side on Sunday. Then, you know, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But we shall see. Curtis. Absolutely brilliant the other night. I mean, I've long been banging the drum for him, and no, not just because he's a Scouser, but because he is a brilliant player. He's sort of been ripping it up at every level. Yeah. And then, you know, he's had to bide his time a little bit. But, you know, he's got 50 odd appearances for Liverpool at 20 years old. And I think he expected, you know, looking at his body language, things he said as well, I think he expected to have had a chance before the other night. Obviously Harvey Elliott jumped the queue a little bit. Yeah. But the other night, it's always been about with him, hasn't it? Sort of applying what he's got in the best way. So, you know, he's always had the tricks. Yeah. He's always had the physicality. You know, he's always had a goal in him. All of those things he's more than capable of. I think Klopp's just been biding his time because he wants him to sort of respect the system, do the dirty work, do the defensive stuff. But he was doing all that because, you know, you talk about intensity. There was loads of little moments the other night where I just thought, you know, you know, like as soon as they get the ball, get in, get on them, win the ball. And Curtis was doing that over and over again. And, you know, it was a fantastic performance. He was involved in, 4 of the goals, I think?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Two assists and I'm involved in 4 of them. One of the things that when I used to go and watch him in the under-19s when it was like the Champions League or whatever it's called at that level, when Gerrard was managing and Curtis Jones was playing, and he was always the standout footballer. He was always he looked head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of his skill, in terms of his ability to take on. I remember him doing a Rabona, getting an assist for a Rabona, and he just looked like this real flair player, really exciting to watch. But you thought, well, like, is he gonna have the sort of the intelligence? Is he gonna have the you know, the ability to sort of fit into exactly what Jurgen Klopp wants? Because what Jurgen Klopp asks his side to do is actually quite, not rigid's the wrong word, but it's very precise what they do. It's very sort of systematic, mechanical. And he's done that really well. And I mean, this isn't his first you know, it's his first absolutely brilliant performance in the Champions League, but it's not his first good performance. He played really well against Ajax last year. I remember Atalanta as well. He was brilliant. So this just feels like the next step in his progression now, and you know, let's see whether he can sort of hold down the shirt now and push on. But like, we just need to remember he's 20 years old, and we should also not take for granted the fact that we've now got 2 local lads in the team. You know, it's not just the Scouser in the team now. We've got
we need to change them songs, don't we? We need to get a song for Curtis. Away from the Porto stuff then, I mean, there's absolutely loads of that on the Anfield Wrap if you want that. So the usual podcast videos, handwritten stuff, reviewing what happened in Porto, enjoying what happened in Porto. That's all out there already if you want to get stuck into that. But last night, of course, we got to see other teams in action. Man United yet again spawning it in Europe. A late goal for for Ronaldo, papering the cracks once more. Villarreal, loads of chances that they should have taken, and it's laughable with them now, because you see the manager going mad, you see the fans outside celebrating and all this, and look, you would. Don't as much as we want to rip that, you would do that. If you get a late winner, it's good in any circumstance. But I just think us watching from the outside, you just go, and this is a house of cards.
Yeah.
This is falling over at any point. You can't go a season like that.
I mean, it's whether they can sort of gain some momentum from that, from the lift that they'll get from that, the goal right at the end. I think the funny thing with them is I think you're right in terms of the house of cards. I'm watching them and I'm just not impressed by them. So it's not as if it's a team that's like, battering at the door with Villarreal and it's their keeper that's making these saves and they're unlucky that it's a draw. Villarreal should have been out of sight, and they weren't taking their chances. And you've signed Varane, you've signed Sancho, who they just don't seem to be able to get a tune out of at the moment. You're watching the football side, you're watching the football team and you're looking at it and you're thinking, well, I don't really know what their style of play is. I don't know what Solskjaer is asking them to do, or what there doesn't seem to be any sort of coherent plan with them at the moment. I'm not massively worried about Manchester United at the moment. We've seen the Ronaldo effect. The Ronaldo effect is that he's able to get a goal in the last minute for them and pull them out of one. But whether that can sort of keep going over the season, or whether they'll be good enough as a team, we'll see.
Yeah, Man City as well, obviously beaten 2-0 by PSG. And, they've dropped points against Southampton. They got beaten by Tottenham. And sort of, I don't know, there was lots of talk that, they spend a lot of money on Grealish, and then, they suddenly go to another level and they disappear in the distance. We had the same stuff with people saying the same about Chelsea, and then, Chelsea are beaten again in Europe there. So, it's good. The way we are in football now, everyone is sort of a game away, and even a draw away from a mini crisis. And it's good that the mini crisis is elsewhere right now, and we're off the back of a 5-1.
All the stories have been elsewhere, and I think that suits Liverpool down to the ground, to be honest, because Liverpool have their own sort of journey to be on, and that's one of, after last year bouncing back, most of this team have already won the Premier League. They've won the European Cup. They want to win the Premier League in front of fans. They want to win the European Cup again because it's fucking brilliant to do so. And I think people like new and shiny things, particularly the media. They like speaking about these new signings and bigging up these big stories, the return of Ronaldo and so on. I think it suits Liverpool just to be in the background quietly.
Top of the league.
Top of the league, 6 from 6 in the Champions League, and looking really, really hungry, by the way. The fact that they didn't settle at 3 or 4, they go for 5.
Even the side as well that he puts out the other night, we all did content beforehand, all expecting, changes, and, Tsimikas coming in maybe, Minamino coming in maybe, whatever it might be. And then he basically just goes bang, the strongest team, Matip in there as well. You thought he might get wrapped up in cotton wool for the weekend, the same with Henderson, and it was like, no, we're taking this seriously, we're winning this one, we're getting it done. And then look, he gets to sub some players off because we're so far out of sight, which, in itself is a tactic. But I just thought that was interesting because, I think we all thought, oh, he's on the rotation train now. Yeah. And then he was like, do you think I'm doing that? Yeah, fuck you, I'm doing this.
Yeah, he loves rhythm, and he's got rhythm going into this game. We're scoring goals for fun at the minute. Obviously, at the weekend against Brentford, it's disappointing right at the end, but we're scoring goals for fun. Salah just looks like on another planet at the moment, and that's not being talked about enough by the wider media, I don't think. Sadio Mane, even, there are still some sort of concerns around him, but he's still scoring goals. Bobby Firmino seems to come on and get them. He's come back from injury now. There's goals everywhere in this Liverpool side, and when you look at our defence as well, obviously the Brentford one is disappointing, but real strength and depth at the back. I'm not worried. I'm actually the opposite. I'm very, very excited about what this Liverpool side can achieve.
Some of the little bits and bobs, we were just talking before we started about, there's little bits of transfer rumours out there today. But what's made me laugh about them straight away is that the two main ones that I'm seeing discussed in the Liverpool world, if you like, both come from the same source, which is, I'll have a go at saying it, calciomercato.com.
Oh, those fellas.
Yeah. And they are, I've just googled what are they or who are they, and it's like they are the web's largest 24/7 news source on Italian football and international transfer news. You said, when I said who are they, you went, I've only ever heard of them when we talk about transfers on the gutter.
Yeah,
and
Rob Gutman cites them as a key source in Italy.
I think that sort of says it all. It sort of feels like someone sitting in an office just sort of say, who would Liverpool fans quite fancy signing right now? And it's like they've seen Craig's tweets or been in our office or something and gone, Craig likes Alan St-Maximin, so we'll say that Liverpool want to sign him. So Calcio Mercato are claiming that we're interested in him alongside Chelsea and Everton. It says Newcastle won't do a deal in January, but it suggests that a move could happen in the summer. I mean, like I say, it just seems really obvious, this, like, really cynical in a way that, you know, footy fans obviously will love this fella. He's a laugh on Twitter. You know, he's got all the skills in the world. He's this maverick lighting up Newcastle. Like, who wouldn't want him?
Yeah, no, exactly. They're listening in the office, absolutely. We've been talking about him quite a bit. I'd have him doing our social media as well as playing an attack for us. He's one of those footballers that when you watch on Match of the Day, every so often you see him sort of light it up for Newcastle. You think, fucking hell, he's a player. He looks really good, doesn't he? And just the way he sort of carries himself, how he takes on players, him in a counter attack, and he obviously gets goals as well. But I also wonder if he is one of those Match of the Day footballers that we see every so often as fans and think, oh, get him in because he looks good in that one. But is he doing it every week? I'm not sure. We'll have to see towards the end of the season. But,
I'd love us to have a mad bastard again, though.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I feel like we're a mad bastard short now that Shaqiri's gone. Do you know what I mean?
No, like having him on the bench and throwing him on.
Yeah.
Like I remember, was it the Burnley game last season? I think he was out with COVID for quite a bit of last season, wasn't he? And then he came back. And
question mark, of course, as it been pointed out there, question mark about his pace, of course, because Steve Bruce is faster than him.
Yeah, it's a good tweet by him. How am I 91 pace FIFA when Steve Bruce is 98?
If you haven't seen that, by the way, there's like a clip doing the rounds on Twitter. They're easy to find, and it's basically like some shots from the new FIFA. Which is out at the start of October, and basically, there's a goal scored, and they're all running on the pitch, and Bruce has somehow, channeled Usain Bolt, and he's there, like outpacing all of these other players, including St-Maximin.
But go on his Twitter, by the way, St-Maximin, and just scroll through it if you've got a spare sort of half an hour, because he's hilarious, and he takes the piss out of himself as well, which is nice to see from footballers rather than it being this robotic. Nice one to the fans today. Great result. We'll be back stronger afterwards. I
scored the best goal anyone's ever seen, but it's all about the team and it's all about the 3 points. Fuck off, just say I'm boss and I see that. Woo! The other link from the same source is Chiesa.
Because he scored last night.
Yeah, because he scored against Chelsea, and we all liked him in the Euros, and it's like, okay, who else would Liverpool want? They're claiming Liverpool have a strong interest in him. But there's also competition from Chelsea and Juventus. I mean, I'd call bollocks on that.
He's just signed, hasn't he?
Him. Yeah.
He's just signed a month ago.
Yeah. He'd cost an absolute fucking fortune. And it just doesn't feel very Liverpool. I'd love him, so that's that. Let's have a look at some of the comments. There's absolutely loads of comments this morning. We are doing this live. I am, by the way, looking at the comments on YouTube because I noticed that people are commenting on Facebook and I'm tending not to look at them. So if you're on there going, why has that read that one out? It's because I'm reading the ones out off YouTube.
Sam's giggling away in the background.
Yeah, they're all buzzing off.
Get on Shearer.
What Shearer said? Shearer said, Jurgen is mad for the pickled onion monster munch. He crunches them up and snorts them while wearing lederhosen made from the empty bags. Oh, right, okay. I mean, breaking news there for you.
Who's your source? Mercato, Calcio have said, they've reported.
Good stuff there from Shearer. Nice one, Al. I'll go back to the top and see what we missed.
Pep Linders watches these apparently sometimes. Remember he told us this. He told us this last year that he watches Talking Reds.
Must be like, what the fuck?
He said the videos are too long. He says he only watches 10 minutes.
Oh.
That was his exact words.
I
wonder why. I'm excited for his feedback next time on too much crisps chat or
maybe he's into
Monster Munch.
Maybe he's into the crisp chat. He might put a stone on because he's watching this and he's like, I'll have to try these crisps out. But by the way, we did try the crisp that was sent the other day, and King Crisp and Tato Crisp. I know you are all debating it in Ireland, and that's also the reason it got sent here. Tastes the same.
No, they don't, right? They don't.
Tastes the same.
The problem is,
made in the same factory.
I tasted King and they taste like Northern Irish Tato, and apparently Northern Irish and Southern Irish Tato is different, and I never knew this. So I tasted King and was like, oh, that tastes like Tato, and then tasted the Tato and was like, that doesn't taste like Tato. So we looked into it and they're both made in the same factory. So I think what's happening is Northern Ireland's getting King and we're being told it's Tato, and the South's getting... anyway, that's my conspiracy theory.
And someone asked what's in the cup, and it is very much Barry's. Lions, I'm just not having it. It's all right, but I wouldn't even put it top 3 for my teas. I'm Barry's number 1. I think Yorkshire tea number 2, and then
Yorkshire Gold number 2.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then there's a decent Twinings we've got in the office. What's that one? Is it?
It's like, I don't know. It's the orange packet, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a good one of them, and then after that, you know, you're vying for European slots.
Neil throws 2 tea bags in his tea. You noticed this?
3?
2.
2?
Yeah.
Of anything?
Of anything.
That's wild. I mean, if the shit, I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, if you're using like PG tips and that's because that's all there is in the office or something, then yeah, you're throwing loads in to try and get something out of them. They're crap, by the way.
It means business.
So, yeah, we've got Nish says, the Rice Krispie head has to be the luckiest manager of all time. How can someone blatantly get away with being shit at his job and still carry on? Quite right, mate, and long may it continue.
I think it's the like Gary Neville didn't want to put any pressure on him. Everyone in the media associated with Manchester United were keen to not put pressure on him, and then whenever he signs Cristiano Ronaldo, suddenly they have to, because you've signed Ronaldo, Varane and Sancho, so it'll be interesting sort of 3 or 4 months, I think, for Ole.
Kernawek, I hope I'm saying this right, Scouser, says, I had some beef Monster Munch last night and there was barely 5 crisps in the bag.
Fuck off.
Honestly, I've seen this happen myself, mate. I mean, I think you should get on to Mr. Monster and say, aye, what you're up to there, la? He's called it crisp inflation. Someone says, how long do you reckon Ollie Gunnar SquarePants has left? He says, also announce the crisps. I mean, I think we just did that, didn't we? We were going to do a taste test, but all the King have gone already, and I think we're down to the last bag of Tato. So, you know, the idea that we're going to do content with it as
you know what, I was trying to be healthy, and then I had like 3 of the multi-pack crisps, and then went home and bought multi-pack hula hoops and had like 2 of them. Like, you've
been scanning loads of Collins as well, haven't you?
I have, little
Colin the
Caterpillars from so maybe just don't send in more crisps, or else, you know, Talking Reds in 3 months will be me and you, just like Mr. Blobby.
Talking weight. United are paper over the clock, says Jimmy. Yeah, totally agree. Carl Trotman, he was gutted that he missed this the other day. He sent me a tweet about this. He says, next up, favourite biscuit with your Lions. Come on, Carl. He says chocolate digestive is the business. Now, this is something we agree on, Carl. You'll be pleased to hear. That was a staple in my house growing up. Chocolate digestives were my dad's favourites. So I always scrammed them when I got in from school, and then got shouted at when he come in from work because there was none left. Sorry, Dad.
Are they milk chocolate or dark chocolate?
My dad liked the dark chocolate.
Yes, they're the ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones. I don't like dark chocolate, but I like the dark chocolate digestive biscuits.
They're good. Tato, beef and onion gets a shout there, not at them ones demo. We're getting shouts about the actual match on Sunday. People are saying we should really do that, shouldn't we?
This is the last Talking Reds before City, isn't it?
Reds before City. We haven't mentioned it. Fucking that just shows you where we're at. Up the Anfield Wrap. Yeah, well, I mean, we have got this big game on Sunday, of course. I think one of the reasons we don't do it top of the agenda on Talking Reds is that we are going to talk about it all day. You know what I mean? So we'll be filming a video preview. There will be a team tour. There will be various other shows that will, you know, there's the Friday night as well, all on the app, all on the Anfield App subscription, which will be previewing this game massively. We'll be looking at see what Klopp says and Pep says.
Good save, by the way. Good save. Pep Guardiola definitely eats like low-fat, ready salted, the boring bastard, doesn't he? Like, there's just nothing about him.
Like, he had pizza, didn't he, when they won the league, and it was like he'd never had pizza by the look of his face. He was like, whoa, this is all right.
He tried to like lift it and eat it in one.
I mean, the thing to say on City, which I'm probably going to say about 50 times today, though, it is obviously they come to our place, they beat us and they beat us well, and they go away going, well, we've ended that hoodoo at Anfield. You haven't, lads. You know, when it was an empty stand, it doesn't count as far as I'm concerned. Same goes for Everton.
Yeah.
So, you know, beat us when we're all in there, beat us when there's 54,000 in there, because that will be a different kettle of fish. They know it, we know it, our team knows it, and I can't wait for Sunday. I can't wait for us to get
I think that's the important thing for us to all remember as well, is that, like, when everyone has been together, like, you know, look at what we've achieved. So look what we achieved when in 18-19 when we win the Champions League all together, we win the league, and obviously we don't get the end bit, the celebrations together, but you know, everything that happened last year was because the fans weren't in, and because of all of the stuff that happened in the defence. So now that we're all back, it just feels like everything's sort of moving in that direction, doesn't it? Feels good.
Come on. Luke Bowyer says here, found out yesterday that my mate's dad, Gary, used to wear yellow Crocs to the pub every week, as we'd never get beat when he did.
Is he the fella that comments with Crocs every week?
He's got shares in Crocs. I mean, get your mate's dad, Gary, to bang them yellow Crocs on. You know, anything that brings us luck this weekend, I will take.
If the Croc fellas are watching, Rob will wear yellow Crocs on Talking Reds if you send them in.
No.
Yeah, you will.
I reckon you wear them ones, you know, them like...
Here we go, right, come on.
Them like transparent sandals.
The jelly shoes.
Put these on, Craig, so you don't stand on a jellyfish.
Look, I'll wear anything if it's stopping me from getting stung by jellyfish. I'll wear jelly shoes.
A really technical and serious question here. I'll see if either Craig or Michael's got an answer for this one. It says, morning both. This is from EP. He says, extended play. He says, would you consider having a tour Discord server? Could be a good entry-level subscription for £3 to £4 a month or something. Keep up the great work anyway. Up the Reds.
Oh God, another subscription. I've looked at Discord a little bit. It's probably one for the sort of wider team list, to be honest. But yeah, we've obviously given the YouTube subscription or the YouTube membership I go over the last sort of 4 or 5 months to give people a way to watch all of our video in an easier way than our website. But we'll look at Discord and we'll get back to you.
Rangers Easy OK says, this is thought about United. He says they rely so heavily on individual moments. Their manager is the epitome of Man United, the little dweeb.
Good word, yeah.
I'm into that.
Doesn't get used enough.
Good needle here from Eamon. He says, I wonder why Klopp hasn't begged fans to attend the City game after the European fixture. Yeah, we don't need any of that, do we? We don't have to beg our fans to go to the ground. They actually want to go.
It's going to be great on Sunday, though, isn't it? Like, the atmosphere, it'll just be... Yeah. Obviously, with the Chelsea game...
It's been great already, I think.
The Chelsea game was as loud as I've heard it for ages. It felt like a European game, and obviously it was a 5:30, it was a Saturday night. But I think the very fact that this is City and Guardiola, I think will raise the roof again.
Any news on Salah's contract, says Mark Ross? Afraid not, mate. We're all waiting, aren't we? We'd all love that to be signed. He's breaking records every week. He's scoring goals all the time.
It'd be good if me and you were breaking it, though.
I know, imagine
got breaking news, Craig and Robbo, and it's not crisp related. Salah's signed a new contract.
Oh, all right, Mo. Are you signed, lad? Yeah, we signed that, but unfortunately not where we are at. What else have we got here? Tom Norman says, I live in Melbourne and I haven't been back to Liverpool in ages. I bloody miss chipsticks and seeing the Reds at Anfield, of course.
Chipsticks? Oh, that's a shout.
Chipsticks are good.
They're good, aren't they?
They are good.
I haven't had them in ages.
They're good tango bigger.
I haven't had them since I was a kid.
They can mess though, don't they?
They do, but wow, they're worth it.
Yeah. Wow, you can really dance.
Just eat them while holding the Hoover. Do you know what I mean? Hoover it all up while you're eating.
Salt and shake. Fuck me, are they still going? They get a little shot with the little blue packet and you have to put it in and then shake the crisp.
No, too much. Graph. Too much admin.
Yeah, it was admin that. Since Jürgen stopped wearing glasses, we haven't lost, is a shout there. Any plans for a live show over here soon, says Carl, as in Ireland?
Oh yeah, there is. We're working with Phil, our mate over there, to try and get something sorted for the new year. It's just very difficult at the minute with COVID and everything going on and it not fucking off for us to plan. We've been trying to sort Scotland as well before Christmas, but it's
I wonder, I wonder how long we could. I mean, like we can't do this because we're trying to get you to watch our like subscription content. But I honestly wonder sometimes how long could we just go? Do you know what I mean? Just talking on here and reading the comments and having a laugh because it's the comments are genuinely great. I love them.
Do you know what though? Like, can I ask how many of you are going to subscribe to the Anfield Wrap off the back of our crisp chat? Because like I'll include it in the marketing strategy if you say yes. Do you know what I mean? We'll do anything.
This just made me laugh. Chump Champ says, have you considered a tour cryptocurrency?
Do you know what?
Put it on the list.
I'd just like our website to work right, just get the website there before crypto.
McCoy's used to do a class barbecue rib flavour which they discontinued for some inexplicable reason, says Damo. I don't know what the reason is for that. Are you planning to do any London-based events?
We've talked about this actually, we've talked about doing one. I don't think you've done one. Have you ever done one? Have you done maybe 1 year?
We did one, Highbury Garage, which was part of like a Hillsborough fundraiser thing where like John Power did a set. I think maybe the T Street played as well. And we did a little, we did a bit like sort of before and after the match. It was a bit of a mad one. It wasn't like an exclusively Anfield Wrap thing. But yeah, I mean, I think we'd basically consider anything if we thought we could get.
Yeah, definitely. Like, just add us on Twitter if you're somewhere that you want us to come and you've got a supporters club that you think you'll be able to sort of help us sell tickets and get people in the door. Because I think at the minute it's more difficult with COVID. Just some people don't want to be in sort of small confined spaces, like most of our live shows are in. So
well, there's one for you here, Sam.
No.
Thoughts on the new Diana musical on Netflix?
That Diana t-shirt he wore in the office the other day was a bit weird, wasn't it?
It's mad that he wore a mask as well, of a face.
At the same time, strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's good at his job, but he just loves Diana so much.
Video, Arsenal and Diana, that's the three things in Sam's life, innit?
There's loads of combinations coming up on here. So there was chipsticks and a pint before that I saw.
Yes, good and salty.
I've just seen meanies and a rapper whiz.
Moving on.
Cheers, Jump Champ. When's the next tour UK show? Oh, we are. We can mention that we're doing a fucking show.
Oh, right. We're doing one in Liverpool. It's not like a live sort of like a tour live where it's a bit more of a party and it's a bit wild. It's a live podcast. I think there's going to be a What Football Means to Me with Adam Smith, which is one of the podcasts that we've been doing, and it's done really well. And then an AFQ Football, which is basically like an audience Q&A with sort of 4 or 5 of us on stage. So yeah, that is on I think it's the 11th of October.
We've just posted a little link to it.
There's a little details in the comments on YouTube.
It's only a tenner as well. It's only a tenner. It'll be it'll be a couple of hours, I'd imagine. Good fun. We'll have a pint together. It'll be lovely. Yeah, get the tickets.
EP sent us 2 Nicker there as well. Thanks, mate. There's a shout for dark chocolate hobnobs. There's pickle onion, Space Invaders.
Yeah, always. Good shout, really good.
I really like Space Invaders. Quality. Honestly, every time we end up talking about Scran, Balanced Opinions just put munching reds. Maybe that could be like the offshoot.
Honestly, don't encourage him. Don't encourage him.
He also asks, is Craig still going to the gym?
Nope. I went last week, and then this week I haven't made it in the door yet, but I'm going to try and go today.
It's Thursday.
Fucking hold me to account. Ask me every day. Get me on the spot again.
Callum McFadden asks, have you won anything on the Mackey's Monopoly?
Fuck all, mate. And do you know what? It's always
double
something
cheeseburger
shite as well. Yeah, you made me go and get it, didn't you? I had to hand in the little. I feel like a meth handing it in, but yeah, no, I haven't won anything. It's always like a fucking like an apple turnover or whatever those shite things are that you get desserts. It's never anything good.
Mikey Shields speculates that Pep Linders loves Coca noodles. That's if he can fucking get any. It's like trying to fucking find gold with them currently.
Well, Pep Linders won't be watching anymore because he only watches for 10 minutes.
Balanced Opinion also asks, will the Anfield Wrap sell underwear at some stage?
Wow. Tall on your bills? Not sure about that.
Imagine like so a picture of my grid on the crop.
No.
Get it! Oh yeah, there's more cape shout as well. Are you going to do an Anfield Wrap cape?
Do you know what? Because someone would buy the bills and the cape and then, like...
Turn up at a live show.
Yeah, basically as some sort of weird superhero.
There's a question here about the contents from Phil Bisbee, who asks, any plans for the return of Robbo's paper round? Now, so on that isn't me delivering papers, although I did used to do that once upon a time. To anyone on the Bluebell estate who were delivered to, thanks for the tips at Christmas up the Reds.
Did you do that, did you?
Yeah.
Just putting in the wee thing in the wee hole in the door, just going, get in!
Get in! I've lost my thread now. What was I saying there?
About the papers.
Oh yeah, the papers. He was asking about the papers. So we occasionally used to buy all the papers on Talking Reds and go through them and talk about that. We sort of put that as like a subscription show now. So on Bacon Butty on a Monday morning, I get the papers in and we go through the papers. Get the papers. We go through the papers on a Monday morning. Also use some bits and bobs from the papers in the final word as well. Also a Monday show. So check those out, mate. That's the place where we're ripping into the papers a little bit and using what they've got to say. Beef, what's it? Someone's just put there. Never seen them. Maybe we should stop talking about Chris. Maybe we should just stop talking full stop now. Getting a little wave from Sam, which means shut the fuck up. So that has been Talking Reds with me, Gareth Roberts, him, Craig Hannan. Thank you very much for the comments. Genuinely do enjoy them. They make me laugh. They get me going. It's all good. And yeah, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap, download the app, look at the website, get involved on the socials, and we'll be building up to that big game on Sunday when the Reds are going to tonk Man City. Up the Reds.